Alright, fellas, it is your boy here to give you guys another Bleach versus match. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Fullbring Bankai Ichigo going up against Bankai Yamamoto. I know this is like one of those topics that a lot of you guys are talking about, and it kind of fits with us going on the little, Fullbring being powerful trend. But with me today, I have a special guest. I have my Bleach apprentice, the boy Newsbird. Go ahead and, say hello.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy to be here, I guess.
Here to spread some Fullbring propaganda, ready to
definitely
ready to gas this man up. Yeah, this is one of those more common Bleach debates because Ichigo comes in at the beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War and he kind of makes Yuha a little shook. When he pops up, Yuha's like, "Ugh, who's that?" And then people are like, "Oh, can he beat Bankai Yamamoto?" So we're gonna talk about that in today's video. But do all the good stuff, right? Like the video, subscribe, all that Gucci stuff, and we're just gonna go ahead and dive right into this, starting off by talking about Yamamoto and kind of how powerful this dude is. So I know a lot of you guys already know about the statements that we really propagate over here, right? We know about him being the strongest Shinigami. Yeah, in the data book where he's the strongest dude. That kind of holds up pretty well, because the only person that really doesn't get a power-up during the entire 1,000-Year Blood War is Shunsui, and he's still able to fight, like, the post-Ash Wallen version of Lille.
Zero. Guy that literally killed the Zero Squad.
Yeah, so it's like, Yamamoto should still hold up pretty well, because even if you wanted to say that, like, well, that statement only applies to, like, beginning of the war, it's like, Shunsui doesn't train at all, and I guess you could even argue that this means he'd also be stronger than someone like Jushiro as well, who's stated to have, like, more SP than all of the captains. And that includes people like post-training Kenpachi, post-training Byakuya, all of them. So Yamamoto should still hold up pretty well. I mean, there's also the fact
that... Can't be your own world. Actually, there's a statement where Shinsui's literally like, people like Yoriichi and Byakuya, they have really high spiritual pressure. And Yamamoto's literally just at the edge of reason.
Where Tokinada's like, bro, we're nowhere near Yamamoto. He's way too strong, right? So
Tokinada's literally like, bro, if I was as strong as Yamamoto, I would just melt Yuhei's Bankai. I wouldn't have to worry about anything, but I guess I'm too trash, man. Do it.
It's like literally can't for your own world. There's a lot of people trying to play catch up with people like Ichigo, Aizen, Yuha, and Yamamoto. Like they're treated as like these transcendent beings that people still have to catch up to. Which is why, like, I mean, a little side tangent, but it's the whole point of, like, Tokinada doing his plan at that moment. He's like, Aizen is sealed, Yuha is dead, he's the new Soul King, Ichigo's on vacation, and Yamamoto's also dead. He's like, so, like, anybody that's strong enough to prevent my plans is gone, right? So it's like, he's definitely...
the entire point, which, really enough, spoilers for Can't Fear on World that came out, like a year ago. Like,
yeah.
Like, yo, our boy Ichigo's about to fight Tokinada, but like the entire plot is, oh, Ichigo's not here? Oh, this is the perfect time. Let's do it.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's also like the point too is they're trying to recreate an Ichigo with Hikone, but we're getting a little off topic. I guess the other thing that's really good for Yamamoto is the fact that like Yuha says nobody could contain his power except for him. And we know that Gremmy is around at this point. He's stated to be the strongest of the Sternritter. So it's like, none of the Sternritter could also contain Yamamoto's power. I guess the only one that's a little contestable is Gerard, right? Like,
but I don't think Gerard will be relevant to Fullbring Bankai Ichigo, because man's fighting his rivals, getting stronger. Like, kinda, maybe not. Like,
yeah, he might be a little out of pocket if you're gonna come out and be like, yeah, Fullbring Bankai Ichigo, I think he could beat full power Gerard. Yeah, that makes sense to me. It seems to work. Might be a little out of pocket for that one.
Yeah, kind of. Doesn't smell right. You know what I mean? Doesn't really smell right.
There's also like Yamamoto just having one of the best raw feats in the series, right? Where he's just gonna destroy the Soul Society by existing. Like, he doesn't even do anything. He just sits there and he's gonna blow up the entire realm before he even takes any action.
Oh, like a lot of our other like feats that you will be like, oh, this is like a universal feat. This is like a X tier feat. A lot of these characters are using their big attacks to do these things. Yamamoto's just sitting around and like, well, I gotta end this real quick, bro. Like the Soul Society is gonna blow up, bro. I can't be in here, bro. I can't be here.
Yeah, so it's like Yamamoto's definitely in like a different dimension of power. He's definitely like a really strong combatant. I don't want anybody to misunderstand and be like, "Ah, this guy's just here to take a dookie on Yamamoto." It's like, nah, this is like one of those debates people like to have. So we gotta make sure we represent. But so I guess we'll talk about Fullbring Bankai Ichigo as well. And look, I always come out in these videos and I'm talking about Fullbring and I'm like, yeah, it is definitely really strong. It's definitely very powerful. People like Fullbring Ichigo, Ginjo, Tsukushima, they need to have like their actual respect, right? But Noon's over here. You guys will know that I mentioned like some people will argue that Fullbring is above Mugetsu, and my apprentice over here is one of those people. So I'm gonna let him take the floor when it comes to talking about Fullbring Bankai Ichigo.
Oh, Fullbring Bankai Ichigo is like genuinely insane, and Fullbring itself is at least equal to I'll say Don Guy, but oh no, I actually mean Mugetsu. Besides that, right? Besides, that's equal to Don Guy, right? Let's just say that. And then his Shinigami powers are added on top of that, amplified. Literally would have one-shot Ginjo. The same person, they're literally here to fight. Have Kenpachi Byakuya. I was about to say Kenpachi again when I said Tokyo.
He's about to fight two Kenpachis.
Yeah. But all these high-tier captains, last arc they were fighting Yami, Toshiro was fighting Holybell, like these are really powerful people. Start off with the 1,000-year Blood War arc. Our boy Kenpachi just kills 3 Stern Ritter just like pretty up front.
And let's also not forget that Byakuya was gonna like kill Asnot before Asnot stole his Bankai. People do forget that Byakuya actually he pulls out his Bankai and Renji's like, we can't hurt these people, and Byakuya says that's actually impossible and just cuts through like Asnot's arm. And Asnot's like, oh, I gotta steal his Bankai, dude, he's gonna kill me. But yeah.
So like these really powerful people, like Soul Society sent them all here. So like, okay, Ichigo betrays them. They fight this man with Ginjo. Like he's such a threat. But early Fullbring is above, let's say Dangai.
Well, yeah, so I think
is above that by a large margin because he can literally just one-shot Ginjo. Nai one-shot Ginjo at least. This is regular like sword slash.
I guess like, hold on, I think we do, because for new people, right, we got to explain why the Fullbring's above the Don Guy, right? And look, I got this, bro. I got you. So we got Tsukishima, right? Tsukishima's out here planting the memories of 4th Fusion Aizen, right, inside of Chad and Orihime, an event that neither of them know about. So like he would have to know about that himself to plant those memories in there, because they don't have knowledge of those events. So he has to be able to, have his own knowledge to plant said events in their head, right? And then he goes on to say that Fullbring is not only going to be, him regaining his powers, but it's going to be stronger than the power that he once had, right? And they're obviously going to be using something like Dangai as a reference point because that's something they know about from Ichigo. And they actually, funnily enough, they should have been there, or at least sensed the power coming from Ichigo and Aizen, right? Because Ginjo and Tsukushima live in Karakura Town, right? And that's where their battle took place at. They took place in like the real Karakura. So like, Aizen mentions that people shouldn't be able to sense him unless he lowers his SP, but he was lowering his SP so people could sense it, right? So then Ginjo and Tsukushima would logically just be like, let's go check out whatever that big old SP over there is. Let's go investigate. I mean, we do know that they did eventually go over there, and I'm just trying to give a rationalization for why they would have gone, right? Because end result is we know that they checked it out and they were like, yeah, you're going to get stronger than that. But I guess let's go ahead.
Implied again by if you remember the scene where Ginjo was talking to Ichigo about like his badge and how like Jushiro was actually like tracking him, whatever. Like when he's referencing that, it's on some eyes and stuff. Like when he references Ukiura, he references like Ugetsu. So I think that just directly shows right there. Yeah, these niggas were just like, I don't know if they're in the clouds or something, just standing, just looking at their fight. But they should have just viewed the entire fight.
They might have been behind one of the mountains that got vaporized, to be honest. But it's like, there's also the idea that like Dangai Ichigo itself, not Mugetsu, but Dangai really is just Ichigo with like 3 months of training, right? I guess the only odd thing is that he does, he never really gets the chain around his Zanpakuto or his arm ever again, right? Where he merges with it. When he gets full bring, he doesn't have that same quote unquote, combination with his Zanpakuto. We could also just argue that maybe like him merging it with his full bring, which is also a transcendent ability, and maybe that is like making up for that, I guess. Like maybe that's where the like difference in them comes into play. I don't know, because he never replicates that either with True Shikai, right? Which is supposed to be his strongest form. So it's like, I don't know, like maybe you just use that and you say that Don Guy's stronger than True Shikai, but that ain't why we're here, right? So I guess why don't you go ahead and put the finishing touches on why you think Fullbring is stronger than Mugetsu?
Okay, because we basically have 40 statements that say something along the lines of either getting your powers back, I'm getting my powers back. Ichigo references himself and he's like, oh, I need to get my powers back, so just in case Kisuke is just like this evil guy that I don't know about, like I need to be able to defend myself. I need to be able to take him down just in case like just shit hits the fan. If you do remember, Kisuke is equal to base Aizen. These niggas do train. Yeah, 17 months. So it is just adding up. Yuha also directly, we can see this, man. We see Genjo when he references Ichigo getting his powers back. So I think that's
just like, yeah, he's like, that's when you got your powers back. The powers used to defeat Aizen. There's also that anime scene as well, where like Ichigo's referencing his powers and they show Mugetsu like 4 times or something.
Yeah, there's 4 anime scenes where we directly just see Ichigo's just like his internal thoughts when he's like thinking about like, oh, my powers. This is the power I'm going to get back. This is what I need to get back. My powers are rushing me to like get back to my prime or whatever.
Like, oh, I need to get my full power. Oh.
Yeah. It's even in scenes that he's not even referencing his powers, just like auto experience when he's fighting Jackie. It just shows all the way up to Mugetsu and Monster Aizen. Even in those scenes, like 4 different scenes that references it.
Yeah, so like in the anime, you could definitely say it's more consistent for it to be like maybe also being stronger than Mugetsu, but the manga is a bit more ambiguous, I suppose. I also wanted to bring up, so like now that we've kind of like established Fullbring and Yamamoto, we could actually kind of talk about the actual fight. I do actually want to say that it's kind of irrelevant that Ichigo blocked Yuha for that one hit, right? Because Yuha immediately after is like, oh, I'll just use my full power and kill you, right? So it's just like you, and also Yuha wasn't trying to kill Ichigo initially, right? He wanted to like nearly kill him so they could drag him back to the Varvelt to like re-educate him. So it's like for the first strike, Yuha's like, oh, well, I wasn't going all out and I wasn't trying to kill you, but now I'm going to just destroy you. And then Ichigo's only saved because Yuha gets pulled back into the darkness.
So then Ichigo's like, all right, no, you're not going to leave. And Hashwell just snaps his Bankai enough.
Which is kind of a huge W point for Yamamoto, right? Because if no one's supposed to be able to conceal Yamamoto's Bankai except for Yuha, but then, which would include Jugram, but then Jugram snaps Fullbring Bankai Ichigo's sword, right? Then it's like, oh, that seems pretty direct. But you could also try to argue that, like, well, Ichigo's tired, right? He's not all there right now. Like, he pretty much expunged, like, what? most of his spiritual pressure trying to break out of Kirihei's jail, right? Yeah. So it's like maybe you could argue that he wasn't at full power. He's also enraged, though. Maybe he had like a little rage amp, because as we know in Bleach, your emotional state does come into play. Yeah. So I guess that's that for that.
But then we have resting in the springs with our boy Tenjiro, the Flash Master. It's even stronger. Reflexively, he breaks Korinji's his wrist.
He like broke his wrist, yeah, when he tried to punch him.
And so if this is a stronger Fullbring Bankai Ichigo, and he's about relative to Korinji, he snaps his arm. Ichigo like does get harmed by him just getting punched by him. And Korinji and the Zero Squad do die to Lily Barrow. Yamamoto is above Shinsui, who
kills Lily Barrow.
Like,
Yeah, outside because the funny thing about that is like literally the only thing he needed was the god paddle, and he helps Nanao wield the god paddle. Like all he literally needed was Nanao to hold the paddle. He just put her hands on it, and he does all of the work to beat Lily. It's really funny. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
That could just be something else that you can say. Oh, okay. So a stronger full bring Bankai Ichigo just directly dies.
So yeah, it's like really the only way to get full bring Bankai Ichigo to beat Yamamoto is to say that he's above Mugetsu, right? Because not only is like Dangai and Aizen above Yamamoto, right? Because Aizen's like, I've transcended everybody. But then the data books also state that like Mugetsu is a further transcendent, right? Like you have Dangai in 4th fusion, then 5th fusion Aizen that damages, you know, Dangai Ichigo. But then they're like Mugetsu just transcends everything at that point. So it's like if you wanted to have Yamamoto and like tier 1, that'd be like Dangai in 4th fusion would be tier 2, and then it'd be like Mugetsu's tier 3, like just the levels of transcendences. But then I've also heard people try to argue that Yamamoto trains as well, so they could maybe try to say that like Yamamoto trained to get stronger than those people, which I guess is something you could argue, but I guess it kind of gets a little dodgy at that point because it just depends. It's kind of hard to be like, but like how much stronger do they get? Is just now stronger than this? Is that what happened? You know, it kind of just gets into semantics at that point.
It gets into like really murky waters once you I like do it.
Because it's hard to like prove how much stronger they got. It's like, well, did he get like 5 times stronger? Did he surpass Dangai? Like, where is he at that point, right? It gets really murky, I agree. But I think more times out of 10, Bankai Ichigo is going to lose to Bankai Yamamoto. Yeah. I think that's pretty comfortable to say. People really do disrespect Bankai Yamamoto. They think he's like top 20, right? When he probably should be hovering around like top 5, like somewhere in that pocket. Definitely someone up there. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed doing this video. You know, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think it's just cap? Do you think full bring Bankai Ichigo just strolls up to Yamamoto and just folds him into a cube and throws him into a different dimension? I don't know. Maybe people think he could do that. I don't know. Or or maybe you just think this matchup is just cap in the first place. You're like, there's no way Yamamoto would ever be in a fight with Ichigo, right? Looking forward to the comments on this one, right? Because it's always really funny with the Bleach community. But, you know, I enjoy it. But thanks for coming on, my boy Noons. We will both be in the Discord if for whatever reason people are like, hey, I don't know, Ichigo might be giving Yamamoto the hands, and, you know, we look forward to fighting people in the Discord, right? Just, you know, looking forward to that.
I do hope you don't just drop a comment and then don't join the Discord. Like, why don't you just join the Discord?
I mean, that's always really funny, though. Some guy just, like, comment says, video bad, and then you're like, join Discord to discuss why it's bad? And they're like, nah. They're like, I don't want to talk. I don't like social interaction. Social interaction bad. But, alright, boys. I'll see y'all in the next video. Nice doing this. Anyway, comment, all that good stuff. Discord in the description. All that. Bye-bye.